and we can ignore it. The tides and the changing seasons.
I'm getting more and more pulled into the silence. When I was watching when I did the research, I was watching some of the clips on YouTube, and I already then felt this incredible silence emanating from you. And
That's because it's within you, is the truth.
Yes, it's just...
I mean, if I had a hand mirror...
I just want to sit here and be quiet. And I can see in this moment who speaks is silent. Or silence speaks. There isn't anybody there.
And the reason you can recognize that is that you are this.
Yeah.
And then we can get together as friends or sit on a couch and discuss whatever. And it is always here, deeply here. It's another thing I feel in your presence is my heart. Yes.
And I know in your book you mentioned a lot the heart and consciousness being the heart and
as soon as we say one word, we've made this, we've made it into an object that isn't real, just something that we essentially are. We live in this, a virtual paradise, if you will.
You're right.
A secret garden of stillness that is within and appearing to be without, outside, and without that body reference point anymore. There's just this, but it's going so unnoticed. And there's a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, "What would you do if the midnight stars only came out once every 1,000 years? Would you ignore it, or would you watch TV?" And this is what I'm asking people. What you have heard the news here today. What will you do? You got the doer there. You stop. Allow this to arise, this timeless heart that makes all things possible. It makes perception possible. At a not so deep level, you see it as perceiving something else, some object. But it's that which makes perception possible, makes cognition possible, and yet it itself is free.
It's beautiful. And yet it is important that we share ourselves. Sometimes we share our stories. It is important that people can reflect and see that there's something else, and maybe they had an experience and they, like you, they don't know what to do with it, or don't know where it was coming from, or what was happening. So I think it is important sometimes also to talk about the story. And I remember when I used to be able to leave my body and astral travel, and I was doing amazing things, and used it also to heal people. I could go into other people's bodies, and when I shared shared that sometimes in my groups. People would come up and were so grateful and said, I have this experience and I thought I was going crazy, and I went to my doctor and he tried to give me pills.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And as helpful as being together with people, this realization isn't dependent upon anything.
Yes.
The only answer, I could give conceptual answers all day long, and unless those people that you were meeting with, unless they looked within to find out for themselves, and it becomes more knowledge in a basket that we're actually trying to empty.
Yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, Katie, people's mind relax.
Yes.
And this relaxation gives an opening. And sometimes, we have, it's good to talk about certain things, and it's all concepts, but it can be used as a tool.
Yes, but there's no sense of self there.
Yeah.
So that's the joy of being human, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
One love. You could get together and read poetry or enjoy a walk in nature or talk about spiritual experiences.
Yeah.
The deeper question is, who is that is experiencing? Who is living here? Who is being?
Those are the fundamental questions.
Is it my being versus your being? The opportunity of people sharing together in groups